In this video, I'm going to show some macros that I use for a hunter in PvP. To start out, let's go over the basic aspect swapping macros. Basically, this is binding your aspects to your shots. Here are the basic macros for swapping to Hawk and Fox. Aspects are on their own global cooldown, so you can do this fairly easily without affecting anything. The basic idea is to bind Fox to steady shot and Hawk to your instant shots. That way you can swap to Fox whenever you need to move, and it will automatically swap back to Hawk when you do any instant. That way you don't lose the benefit of the attack power it provides when using an instant while moving. I have macros to swap to Hawk for Chimera, Arcane, Aimed, Killshot, and Multi-Shot. Apparently I have been told that this method does not work properly for people with higher ping, as the shot will go off before the aspect is swapped, and it will not get a bonus. So sorry Aussies. When you use steady shot with this macro, you will have to hit it twice for it to cast, but once you get used to it, it does not become a problem. Additionally, you can macro steady shot twice, once with Hawk and once with Fox, to not lose DPS while stationary, but that is an extra key binding in a key heavy class, so this is your choice if you want to do this or not. If you intend to use these macros for PvE, this is pretty much a necessity, as you will lose a lot of DPS otherwise. I make heavy use of mouse over macros as a way to consolidate key bindings. This is the layout of the basic mouse over macro. What this will do is it will cast the ability on whatever your mouse is over. If you have no mouse over target, it will cast it on your target. This saves the necessity for a modifier key for a focus target macro, making your life easier. Your mouse is generally not doing anything besides controlling your camera in a fight, so you might as well put it to use. The abilities I do this with are Master's Call, Silencing Shot, Tranquilizing Shot, Scatter Shot, Roar of Sacrifice, Concussive Shot, and Raptor Strike. Roar of Sacrifice and Master's Call are slightly different, as the default target, if not mouse over, is to me. There are several drawbacks of this method. First, you have to manually move your mouse over the target while fighting normally. If the mouse is over the wrong target, it will fail. That requires practice and additional focus. Secondly, the target has to be in your line of sight and in the correct position, or it will default go onto your target. For example, if you try to mouse over silence a healer that is behind you, it will instead go on your target and waste the cooldown. With practice, this too can be avoided. There are also some advantages to this. Mainly, you don't have to use a key binding. You also do not have to set a focus target to utilize this method. In Arena, this probably doesn't matter, but in World PvP and BGs, it is very useful not to have a focus target. If you, for example, are using a focus target macro in a rated BG, to focus silence a different hero, you would have to switch focus and then do it. The mouse over method is very flexible, and of course, it's very good for your Master's Call and Roar of Sacrifice that you put on anyone very easily without an additional macro. This is especially useful with Tranquilizing Shot, so you can instantly purge anyone when they pop something vital like Death Wish or Avenging Wrath. It is also very good with Scatter Shot to get that melee off you while you attack. I do, however, have additional macros for focus targets that I use in arenas when I require more precision. Here are some other macros that I use. I use Arcane Shot for my Cancel Aura macro to remove bop and deterrence. You just bind it in before everything else. The Parachute Cloak macro has to specifically be disengaged before Parachute, as disengage now cancels Parachute Cloak. A simple Hunter macro I use to make my pet stop and come back to me is this.